All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Jeff. We're going to continue our study of Joseki. I hope everybody's excited. As we saw last time, we're practicing the 3-4 point, the Komoku Joseki. And again, the basic low approach. Now, for any of you who are new, there's some principles here I'll try to teach you. I didn't read them in any book. I think they're implied. A lot of Japanese and Far East education in the Chinese, Korean, Japanese sphere, a lot of it's implied. And that's not bad, but you do have to figure it out. And some of that does come from master-student transmission, like studying with somebody better, and Go is no exception. Again, my studying Japan too much instincts are coming out, so welcome everybody. All right, so today, last time I showed you how to do kosumi. All right, defensively. Now, there's a principle with all kakari, that is approaches to corners. The attacker picks the kakari, the defender gets to pick the permutation, right? So, kosumi is a whole branch. It's not a very big branch. Look, I have it written down. It's 49 alternatives in the book. It's not bad. If you're curious, is that small? Sure. One I'm going to show you today, just a very first one, the one space pincer, has 111. If you're curious, Jeff, is that a short one? Yes, it's a middling size. It's not the shortest. Okay, so when you're new, a lot of players who are trying to improve or have been playing better players will start to play pincers. Pincers is anything between 1 and 3. 3 spaces behind. So any of these are pincers here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. These are all valid pincers. Basically what makes an invalid pincer, let me show you. If I can do a 2-space extension, it's an invalid pincer. That's the basic logic of thickness, if you're curious. So you'll play, say you're white and you're new, or even middling, and a lot of players, even at my level now, will confound you by trying to do this. They'll pincer you. Now, I'll tell you the kind of good news of Joseki logic. The good news is white picks the approach, black picks the response, but the attacker actually gets to pick the continuation. So every major Joseki, right, these formations, and a Japanese commentator was watching the Honimbo matches, he said, hakushu, right, their handshakes. White gets to choose the response. There's no reason white can't pick an easy one and get Joseki, right, get a formation and be safe. This is a good one to learn. Now, most new players will we'll do the 1 space high next. Most new players won't play the 1 space low because they realize very quickly there's lots of variations. Now, there's not, I'm going to show you today the most simple of what I would call the basic style that you can always play here and not get in too much trouble. And you can study these variations online. I'll put links in eventually, and I'll do some posts as well. And I'll link them. You can learn one variation for each of the ones you don't like, and just play that and be safe. Now, you might give black a little profit, but at least you didn't lose. So, for example, this is one of my favorite. I love the 1 space low pincer on my Komoku. I really like it. Now, white can freak out. There's a lot of responses. I'll show you the standard. You have the 3-3. That's 1. You have the inward knight's move, the keima. You have the straight line out, right, the 1 space jump, the iken tobi, and you have the less common outward pincer. I would generally not recommend this one unless you can read it really well. This one is the most common. Next most common, easiest. So today we're going to learn the easiest. So let me show you. Okay, so this is a 3-3 entry point. It is Joseki. It is even I'd say nearly a kihon, like a fundamental Joseki. Okay, so when you hit under, black's going to go here. All right, now a lot of people will hane, don't hane, not where you think. So you want to hane here, on top. This is 3. Black will extend 1, 4. You will take the corner, but not the way you think. You're going to descend straight down to 5. Black is going to keima 6. Now here's the most important part. This is as the book says, the honte, the important hand, important move. You play here. And then black will get this long extension, which might make you feel bad, out to 8. Now, you'll notice, small, he's on both sides. Yes, however, you're live. The simplest way to live, later in the game, right there. Right, now you've got corner, you've got some points. Obviously, this is goat, right? Gote, he'll play there. You'll descend or take it, right? And you're live. Easy. There's plenty of space. Now, this is good because you're alive, 1, and you've got Sente, 2. Makes it quite good, right? Because Sente just means you get to play way first. Now, black did get 2 sides, right? But you get Sente. It's considered a fair trade. This stone's not alive yet. It might have some relations here where you regret doing it, but he didn't destroy your stone, the opponent. That's always a good. Now, the key, why is this one key? Well, if you don't play that, there's a 15-point Yosei move, which just means endgame, which takes away your eyes. I'll show you. And it's, by the way, if you're curious, this is worth 15 points. Black descends. Now your group is not alive. Now, what do? How can you make it? You go 1. And then he hanes. You pull back. He makes a nice diagonal connection. You push one more time. Black connects. And he pushes against you connection. And then you trying to make shape. You're still not alive. Still alive eyes, everybody. You're open down here. You're trying to run. So this is Yosei. It's endgame, right? So black's doing this to get that corner profit and pushing you. By this point, you have to have moves somewhere else, right? So you'll probably live, but you're losing points. Again, how many points? 15 points, that one move. So if you're going to play this, you have to play that hook. Now this will matter later as I explain more moves. If the pincer, this guy, if the pincer's further back, you don't have to play this move. But when it's a one-space pincer, you have to. So these variations, getting in the corner when you get pincered, there are the formations you can learn, the handshakes basically. They have slight variations. It's good to learn them. They can get mixed up. Don't feel bad. Again, I've been translating and watching a lot of Japanese high-level tournaments lately. It's been very exciting. But they point out, too, even pros study variations. That's why books like this exist. There's 2 parts of it. You study it because sometimes you're a little rusty, and then you play a player, and you find the moves he really likes. And then you study. Or, for example, you'll get destroyed. This happened to me 2 weeks ago. In person, I played a 3-dan with 6 stones, and he played a variation on a Joseki I didn't know. And I played it bad, and he crushed me, of course. He crushed the whole corner. That's what study's for, right? It's not you're going to memorize all of them. Nobody does. But you can learn enough. Let's say you play, because let's say you play and people play a lot of komoku, and then you start to play the Keima approach. You'll eventually you study just enough that every variation you can live, and try to get a handshake, a Joseki, a formation, right? Because the goal is obviously either a living formation or. No, I would say in the early game you always want a living formation as a rule for a new player. So again, let's reset. Let's go back to the real Joseki, and we'll play one more time just to make it clear. Okay, here we go. He's got a corner. 3-4, approach. Pincer. Take the corner. He hanes. You outward hane. He extends. You push down. He, knight moves. You, remember, this is the important one, take the corner. And then he can choose to extend past the star point. There you go. You're alive. It's decent. And by decent, my book rates it a strong Joseki. Now, there are people who will say Joseki don't matter, there's AI, blah, blah, blah. No. You need the principle, right? The principle is so good here to remember. This one will get you alive. I even ran into this in a game 2 days ago on OGS. The guy misplayed it, and so I knew I had Aji, right? And again, I played it right. Neither of us played Joseki. But if you know what the right move is, eventually you can intuit where the wrong move is. Most of that, though, to quote players better than me, That's experience. So hopefully this gets you started on your experience. Keep studying. It won't be so bad. Until the next move, this is your host, Jeff. I'll see you all then.